All right, let's talk about Hokie football now. They've won 6 straight games. They're heading into a bye week before they face Duke in a couple of weeks. What do we learn about the Pitt game, and is there anything to worry about as the season progresses?
I think that there are definitely a few things to look at in there. You know, Pitt is a team that is not very good on defense, and this offense still had a lot of trouble, not necessarily moving the ball, which they seem to be able to do. The greater problem seemed to be consistency in the red zone.
Sure.
You know, it's nice that Cody Janelle made 4 or 5 field goals. I think we've learned that that's not something that's going to happen on a regular basis, as much as we'd like it to. So I think there's definitely some cause for concern there. It was nice to see Calvin Klein get more involved in the offense. He catches his first touchdown ever, 4 catches to go along with it. I believe 6 targets overall. So it's nice that he's starting to get worked in there, and that could be a cure for some of the red zone ails. But they were missing DJ Coles for large portions of it, so who knows how healthy or unhealthy he is, as always. But he's a guy that's very valuable for them in the red zone with 5 touchdowns already. The younger receivers joking that he keeps taking their scores after they get him down the field. So it will definitely have to keep an eye on that, but he does have the bye week to get healthy. Anton Exum gets the bye week and 2 more weeks off to finally get healthy, to finally come back for this Duke game, I hope. And while Duke has certainly shown the ability to put up points against a team like these Panthers, they're not really a team that worries me. You know, maybe if this was a game that was happening right in between, say, this Pitt game and the Miami game, I'd worry about a trap game. But when you have a bye to really think about the Blue Devils, that worries me a little less. Boston College, after that game, on the road, that concerns
game
me.
scares
But
me.
as of right now, I'm feeling pretty good.
That game scared Boston College. always
Especially
scares
the
me.
way that they gave Clemson a real scare
They
on
played
the
very
road.
well.
Yeah.
Very well against the Tigers. My thing of coming from this game is that, yes, they were stagnant in the red zone this week, but you go back to UNC, and you could very easily compare the UNC defense to the Pitt defense. They were perfect. I mean, they were great in the red zone against UNC 2 weeks ago. So I don't know if I'm ready to say that this is a team that just can't score in the red zone, which has been a problem in the past for Virginia Tech. But it does worry me a little bit, but I think it was more they felt like their defense was doing so well that they could be conservative in the red zone. Whereas at UNC, they knew UNC was going to be able to put some points up, and they did a little bit better of a job scoring in the red zone. So that's my take on the red zone issue. In general, for the rest of the season, the games that worry me are obviously Boston College and Miami, which is going to be the most important game of the year for this Virginia Tech team. But I think they're coming along. I don't want to be that guy that drinks the Kool-Aid, because I am always that guy that drinks the Kool-Aid, but the offense is doing just enough. And we talked about it last week. The offense needs to be mediocre, and Logan needs to take control. He's been very good.
No turnovers in the last 3 games.
No turnovers.
I never thought I would say that ever again about Logan Thomas.
The running game isn't there, but the passing game is, and the short passing game is there, and it's doing good enough because this defense is top 5 in the nation.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be perfect on offense. You just need to be good enough. And I think that they're getting to a place where they might even be better than good enough. And the defense continues to progress, in my opinion. So I think it's all shaping up really interestingly. They still haven't played anyone super good yet, since Alabama, obviously. And so that's what worries me, is that you end up going to meet Miami on the road, and you kind of get sucker punched in the face because you're just not ready for the competition to be ramped up to that style. But I don't know. They seem to be doing everything that we could expect of them at this point.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people are worrying about the running game, and that does deserve concern.
It's scary.
But what I think is a really salient point that I've seen a lot of beat writers bring up, the fact that essentially the short passing game is the running game
Agreed.
right now.
Agreed.
And to me, when you think about it that way, and you look at the fact that we have an offensive coordinator that seems to have a brain in his head, unlike good old Brian Steinspring, who was the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz, you know, if I only had a brain. Yeah, you
he
heard
can
me.
recruit.
yes, he can. But the Scarecrow was a nice guy. I'm sure he could recruit people too. Not like Munchkins?
Like
Minions?
the Munchkins?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Or Dorothy?
I think so. I think he did a nice
That
job
was
of that.
a really good analogy.
Yeah, I think it was pretty great. Anyway, he's shown that he can recruit, but not going on much upstairs, whereas Loeffler, it seems, has the capacity to adapt in a way that he certainly never did. So I definitely feel a lot more confident with him at the helm, even if Trey Edmonds isn't running all over everyone quite yet.